Hello and welcome back to SpriteGuard Plays HyperRogue. This is version 9. There has been a big update. Let's see if we can make our way to the new lands. So, the first new land is the Kraken Depths. Let's see what we need. 10 garnets. Let's see, a long time ago this was a trade route, but then Krakens have risen out of the depths. Many trading ships sank here. Legend says that you can uncover the secret of a magical weapon spell somewhere in the depths. You can find sunken treasures here, but they won't appear until you have killed a Kraken. You will also need Orb of the Fish to get the treasures. Luckily, you can steal one from the Viking treasure hunters. Alright, so let's head over to the Living Fjord and see if we can make that happen. There have also been some smaller changes, like the arrows that you see appearing, and there's been a lot of fixes, a lot of interesting things. Eggs are now egg-shaped, and safe cells are marked, and actually there's been some changes to the minefield, and since we have one right here, we can see about looking at some of them. So once we have exposed all of the ground around a cell will be marked dangerous, and we can even mark cells as dangerous ourselves. So we now have dangerous and safe cells marked out, which is pretty useful, pretty helpful. And so that will make navigating the minefield a lot easier. You can focus more on your exploration and not worry as much about... You can also, if, and this actually was the tragic end of one of our familiars, now familiars will not step on marked cells. And so you can mark a cell and they won't step on it, and it will actually not even let you step on it, I believe. I don't really want to check that right now. But that will keep your familiar safer. We had the very first princess that I rescued, as far as I remember, ended up stepping on a mine that I knew was there. And I had thought that familiars would only step on empty cells, but apparently that's not the case. And so we lost our companion that way. But for now, let us take a look. We also... we are interested in killing one of every type of troll. We will need that in order to unlock... And we have 10 gold, so it's almost certain that we have killed one of these trolls. We need a red troll, we need a dark troll, and we need a one of the ones from the Living Fjord. I'm not sure what all different types we need, but here's a Living Fjord for us. So we can get started here. We can check the overview. Let's see, Trollheim. Rock Troll, we have 3. Fjord Troll, none. Dark Troll, none. Storm Troll, none. Forest Troll in the Overgrown Woods, and then the Red Troll in the Red Rock Valley. So there's quite a few of them for us to kill. So that's good to know about. So let's gather up some garnets. So the first 5 garnets are pretty safe, and we can gather them pretty quickly, pretty simply. But once we get our 5th garnet, we become a little bit more vulnerable because water elementals are very dangerous. So here will be an opportunity, assuming I don't completely mess up the tactics, to kill a troll. And now we just need to get out of the way of these guys. There we go. So that was probably not handled as well as it could have been. It is a little bit more difficult. I don't have a lot of difficulty telling the hexagons from the heptagons, but it is something that I have to pay attention to here. It's not really blindingly obvious the way it is in some lands where the hexagons are triangular or similar shapes. So that's something that we do need to be aware of, but I do find it actually pretty easy to see the geometry in this land, even though it's not as big of a difference, because it follows the ordinary geometry, and because the shapes of the tiles kind of make these flower shapes around the heptagons. I find it pretty easy to read. So let's grab this orb of water and grab up the last couple of treasures that we need. We can use the orb of water. We could have used it to use that boat, but now that's not as much of an option, and now we're so low on water charges that I'm a little bit reluctant to just pick up this boat right away. It's a little bit difficult to sail out of here when we know that there are water elementals on the loose. And so I want to be really careful as we set out here. Really paying attention to where those water elementals are. Let's see, there's open ocean over here, which is, we'd like to get out there, but I don't know if we'll have the opportunity, because there are no boats readily available, and you can't carry boats across. Oh, here's one. So never mind that. We would have to pick up an 11th treasure, which I'm a little bit reluctant to do, partly because of the increased threat, but mostly just out of a sort of a reluctance to kind of an affinity for round numbers, I guess you could call it. Let's see, can we get this guy someplace? Not really. Let's see. Okay, this is a little bit troublesome, but we can deal with it. We actually have quite a lot of combat coming up here. We have a lot of stuff after us, and not a lot of certainty. Not a lot of options, not a lot of really obvious ways to go from here. And so I'm not really sure what to do at this point. Let's see. Maybe we can get an orb of water here. No, we can't. That's a little bit frustrating. I'm not sure why. I guess because there was a garnet there, it didn't spawn the orb of water. That's too bad. Let's see. Here's a boat. So we can kind of take a look over here, see if there's anything for us out here. And I'm not seeing anything really obvious. Now, how is this fjord troll? I guess it's walking on land, and then the land is being consumed, which is a little bit odd. We can't get up to him because of that. But we don't have much need or desire to do that anyway, so that's not too much of a problem. So we're just not finding the exits that we need next to the boats that we need. There's an orb of the fish. That gives us a little bit more options, though not a ton more, because we don't... Let's see, we can grab an orb of water that way, but we don't want to go too far from shore, because that's going to run out pretty quickly. We can kind of explore, and here is... Now, that's a Caribbean, which is not what we're looking for. We're looking for an open ocean. Maybe we have a better chance of finding the open ocean from here. But let's see, there it is. And we are now out of water charges. And we are out of fish charges. And I don't actually know how to find the Kraken Depths. I don't really know... Let's see, we have the garnets that we need, right? Let's see... Kraken Depths, 10 garnets. So this is a trade route, and then Krakens have risen out of the depths. So I don't know really what we're looking for even. I think it's part of the open ocean, or it's at least accessible from the open ocean, but I don't really know much beyond that. There's a warped coast. You know, these this certainly looks like a trade route of some kind or something. That we're right at a place where two of these great walls reach their closest proximity. There's an orb of safety. That's just taken us out to a different part of the ocean. So I don't even know what we're looking for. I don't know where we're going. Oh, 63 turns to surface. Okay, that's really useful that it, I don't know how recent of a change that is, but I had never noticed that at the very least. So that's a cool new thing to know about. That it will tell us how long we are from the tide coming out. And I don't actually know. I actually want to wait here and see. Whoops. I don't actually want to be on the land when it surfaces. 31 turns to submerge, so that's really useful. Let's see. Lots of whirlpools, lots of landfalls. And I don't know what the Kraken Depths are. I know that we can look for Viking treasure ships to get the Orb of the Fish from. But beyond that, it's really not clear what we're looking for, what we're trying to do. And, you know, we can look for an Orb of the Fish that's somewhere near this Great Wall. Certainly one way of... Oh, dear. Let's see. Landfall, kill you. Landfall, run away. Let's see. Kill you, run away, kill you, run away, and then kill you. So, yeah, it's really not clear what we're supposed to do, where we're supposed to go. And, orbs of the fish are pretty difficult to find. Here's one here. This is a little bit further from the shore than I would really like, or from the Great Wall, I mean. And so, you know, I want to find something that is really going to feel like it can take me where I need to go. Let's see. I mean, we can grab that one. I've totally lost sight of where the... let's see. Okay, so we can pick up orbs of the fish while we're in the water. That's good to know. So we can keep an eye out for those, and also watch our timer. That's really important. And we can just kind of keep exploring. And this way, you know, we'll find something at least. And here we have an open ocean. And, you know, I'm not seeing anything out here that's making me think, okay, the Orb of the Fish has really been a game changer. All I'm seeing is just more open ocean. And so, you know, we're not even seeing treasures down there. So I'm going to head back to land before our Orb of the Fish runs out. And we'll just try again. We can hop into a boat and see if we can find another outlet into the ocean. Here we go. So here's the Kraken Depths. So that is what we were looking for. So I'm going to grab this Orb of the Fish, fight these guys off, and we only have 23. And let's see, there's one. Let's see, that's an Orb of the Fish. Oh, there's a Kraken near it. I'm a little uncertain about moving forward here, because I don't really know the mechanics of this area yet. And so I'm going to back off for now. But we're going to keep this in sight. And we're going to try and stay near it. And there's actually another Orb of the Fish. So we can re-up that. And we can actually use this boat to... Oh, no we can't. Okay. Well, once again, we're at the end of our orb of the fish, so we can swim over here, see if we can find anything. Nothing readily apparent. And the water is now pushing us a little ways away. We can use this troll maybe to gain a little bit of ground, but not really enough. And the orbs of the fish are just rare enough that they're not really... I'm not finding one that's close enough to the Kraken Depths for me to feel really confident. And so we can wait for a boat. Okay, so here's one. Here's one that's actually pretty close. But once again, we have this swarm of combat coming up that makes things a little bit difficult. So let's grab that and the water. Make our way over here. And we still don't have as many charges as I would like, but there is another orb of the fish for us to grab. It looks like they're a bit more common in here. So that's going to help us out. That's going to make things simpler. So let's see how Krakens work. There are Krakens in your homeland too. Huge sea monsters which could easily destroy ships. The geometry of this strange world prevents quick movement of huge objects, so there are no large ships, only small boats, and hyperbolic Krakens are relatively small too. Still, you suppose they might be the widest creatures which could still move at considerable speed. Kraken heads can move only on hexagons. You need to attack all of the tentacles to kill the Kraken. A tentacle cannot attack if it has been attacked on the same turn. When a Kraken attacks you while you are in a boat, it destroys the boat but does not kill you. And one of the changes that was made is actually Kraken, or when things happen like something would destroy your boat, it now gives you a warning. It doesn't prevent you from making a move, but it does give you a warning. Oh my goodness. So I've made a bad decision. There we go. We can do that. We can attack it there. And we just need to use the heptagons strategically. And now we actually have another one coming up, which is pretty troubling. And now we're in some real trouble, real serious trouble here. But we have a couple more orbs of the fish here and a boat, so we can re-up on those, and that's got a 77. And so now we just need to battle a Kraken, and hopefully we can use the heptagons to separate these guys so that we can battle them one at a time. And it's very similar to fighting the dragons, but it's different enough to be kind of its own game. So there we hit that. So these guys, they can move on every turn, but they can only move on the hexagons. And so that's what we're going to have to use. They're kind of like the rock snake version of the dragons. Can't get to that orb of the fish. And kind of similar to the dragons, what we're seeing happen here is that we'll have one most of the way battled. And then, there we go. So we killed that one, and it dropped a treasure. And then another one will show up, and we'll have to kind of work around that instead of fighting the one that we want to fight. New achievement, Kraken Slayer. Defeat a Kraken and collect sunken treasure. And I do want to be a little bit careful about this. Now, I'm not sure why there's a sunken treasure there. That seems very odd, because we've only defeated one Kraken. Let's see. There we go. Use that strategically. So it looks like treasures drop even when you haven't... Or I guess once you've killed a Kraken, treasures continue to drop randomly. I think that seems like the rule that we're following here. So that's good to know that we only have to defeat one, though it looks like they're going to be persistent enough that it's going to be worthwhile to... Or it's going to be necessary at the very least to fight more of them. And, we're doing pretty well for fishiness, but I don't want to run out. And that Viking is not attacking us. He seems to be moving in a straight line. So let's see if we can fight this guy off. Well, no, he's gonna... It's a little bit difficult for me to predict which way these guys are going to move. But there we can fill up our fishiness quite a bit. It's a little bit difficult for me to predict which way these guys are going to move, and so it's a little bit uncertain kind of what things I'm going to be able to reach, what things I'm going to be able to do. There's lots and lots of orbs of the fish. That's very nice. And we have 5 treasures. We need quite a few more. Oh, we need 5 more. So it's interesting that the Vikings can't see us, and so they travel along straight lines. That's pretty cool. And they're hunting for treasure, but I guess they don't have any way of actually getting that. So one thing I'm noticing about battling these Krakens is that the treasure that we get from this land is actually kind of being hinted at a little bit in the way that we battle these Krakens. Because you'll notice that as I go around this guy, the tentacles are pretty much pointing in the same directions as we orbit around them. They're not really, it seems like they're not really rotating. And so we can kind of make our way... Oh dear. Oh no. Game over. I wasn't paying enough attention. That happens... It seems to happen every time we have a new update. But we have still the Trollheim to visit, and of course we actually need the orb from this land in order to access one of the new lands. So that is something I am looking forward to. That will be coming up in the next episode. Until then, thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.